I just stumbled over that.
Wow, you had one job, and that was to introduce us.
Yeah. I'm Al
Damn.
Scribbler. This is Big Daddy Mo. Yeah, he's a little under the weather, but yeah, the trailer
Yeah,
for the
if y'all
Flash.
see me sweating, it's because I got the whole house hot as hell. I'm sick, so I'm trying to sweat that bad boy out.
So if nobody knows, if you're sick, you're supposed to sweat it out. You know, a
Yep.
lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that.
Well, I
But
just
yeah,
opened the window a little bit because I kind of want a little bit of cool air. I don't want to be just looking like Shaq over here.
could have turned on the fan. But then again, that just kind of defeats the purpose, especially with sweating a lot.
And
But
then also, you know, we don't really need that fan messing up the mic and all that good stuff.
that mic should be fine with wind resist. I have an AC going on right now. I have 2 air purifiers, and I have a fan going on.
God damn, fool.
My allergies are incredibly bad right now. All right, give me a break.
Just post it on Instagram, letting everybody know we live, y'all. We live. But go ahead, you started off.
So the Flash trailer dropped, and I've seen all 3 of them. I saw the first one, I saw the second, and then I saw the China released one.
There's 3? I did not know. I know there was 2.
It's the one released in China. It's got a few different scenes, but honestly, I don't know what to feel about the trailer. I don't know what to feel.
Crap, because I keep forgetting if I look at the computer, I'm not looking at you.
You had to mirror your monitor because now I'm lucky and I have you in the right spot.
I don't know how to do that. How do you do that?
You would have to back out and do it before you even enter.
You should have told me that.
That's why I wanted you to join earlier, but you didn't.
Excuse me. I had important stuff to do.
Yeah,
I don't want to lose my medical.
You the adult over here. See,
you know I suck at adult.
In the right direction. I can point in the right direction. You over there. I don't have to be looking this way.
Bro. I kind of want to just exit out and let you just talk for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but so the one I saw originally was the second trailer, and does it look like a Batman trailer to you, like Michael Keaton's sequel?
Yes, it looked like it's his movie. I could have swore it was his movie.
And if you know about Ezra Miller, right? You know the.
Dude, Ezra Miller has been in the media a lot lately, and it's all negative. It's like didn't he assault a chick or something like that? He did a lot of stuff.
He put his hands on a woman's throat in like Ireland. He's been jailed 3 times in Hawaii, and he did a B&E stealing someone's alcohol.
Yeah, what the hell?
He kept yelling at the officer because he's non-binary, correct?
I don't know.
And he just wasn't it's just like incredibly he has mental health issues. That's absolutely 100% the case. He's unstable. I don't know, because that's the thing. This movie was supposed to come out 2018.
Damn, that long?
Yeah. This movie was originally slotted to come out in 2018. It was supposed to be on par. He had scenes. Ezra Miller had scenes in Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman.
You talking about that little cameo?
Yeah.
He was in he was in Justice League. No, Batman vs Superman. He was in he also had that little cameo in Suicide Squad.
It was to hype up, the Suicide Squad. It was to hype up the Flash movie, which was supposed to come out in 2018 around the same time as those movies.
Yeah.
Which never happened. Because the directors just kept up and leaving. He had prior commitments to the Hogwarts movies or
he was in the Fantastic Beasts.
And it's just like he didn't work on anything else other than what he was previously engaged to. But it's just so many things have, like, honestly, from what it sounds like, DC didn't want to have him in the film anymore. Didn't want to have him be a part of the Flash. The problem is this has been going on for 7-8 years. This movie has been recording, and
I don't know. I just know they've been talking about it for the longest.
I think it's the most expensive movie ever made.
No, it's not.
It's cost like $600 million.
Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way. Let me go to it. I don't believe that.
Yeah,
not at all.
Double check, because it's
ain't no way. $600 million on a shitty DC movie. That's a damn lie.
With how long it's taken.
So but ain't no 200. It's 200 million, bro. Just 200 million.
Are you sure? With all the reshoots and everything, they don't include the reshoots and everything that go into that.
bro.
It's only the
It'd be
production.
stupid for them to spend $600 million in a franchise that barely even makes their budget back.
Exactly.
I don't care how many reshoots. It'd be they just scrap Batgirl. Like I'd rather them just scrap it and then just start over, or not even that. Just if he's having too many problems, then just $600 million for a DC movie is ridiculous. That's why I say I don't believe that. Even James Cameron didn't spend that much for Avatar 2.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like it's been going on forever, because when they do that number, they don't include the pre-production and they don't include the post-production reshoots. They just include the film, the whole 100% in the beginning. They don't count anything that took in the beginning, because if you think about it, all the writers, the people they were paying while everything was on hold for 4-5 years, everything, all the directors that they kept hiring on and that kept leaving, everything that goes into that isn't added and is excluded from it, because I think it's supposed to make $1 billion in order to break even, which is
that's basically every last one of their movies have to gross $1 billion. Man, I am sick. Hey, I got to give me a little angle here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible for them to make the money though. I think people are superhero. What is the term I'm looking for? Because they're tired of them. Everyone's tired. It's
fatigue. That superhero fatigue. We're tired of that shit.
Original there. I mean,
but it's not even that. It's just they're not good no more. Even Marvel is slowing down. Marvel is like, it's whatever. Their movies are still better than DC, but it's the same thing over and over, which why stuff like The Boys, Invincible, all that is a lot better, because now it's a grittier, more adult version of all these Marvel and DC movies.
Yeah.
We just tired of the same thing. Every time you see a movie, it's just like you have this big bad villain and he's getting ready to get beat by a guy that talks to ants.
Well, because if the original script originally was supposed to be the Flash starting out, he was basically dealing with normal human-like problems, like Spider-Man trying to find, like, one of the comic book strips of Spider-Man was him trying to get bus fare to take his date, Mary Jane, on a date. That was one of the lead things. He didn't have money, so he couldn't get afford a cab that he took his date on a bus. It was supposed to be grounded, but no, they went the epic world-ending boss fight that everyone, and it's just aggravating, the fact that they're trying to reset everything.
Flash or Spider-Man?
Flash. That's I went back to Flash, because they always try to reset everything. Every time it goes wrong, it's like, oh, time to reset it. Let's reboot the whole franchise.
But the Flash is the perfect movie to reboot it with.
But the problem is, like, if you remember the Flashpoint paradox, it kind of goes back. He changes the future, and the future he goes back to is the future of his own reality that he has destroyed. The way they're doing it this way is he's going to another Earth's future. And it's just like, that's not what happens in the Flashpoint paradox. He changes his own future, which destroys everything, because he's the Flash in that reality. And they are giving us like I think they have 3 different Batmans, because I know Adam West was there for shoots. They have the 2.
Really?
He's supposed to be there. They had even Henry Cavill show up. I think they might have scrapped his shot. Same thing with Wonder Woman, because they don't want to have
Wonder Woman's in it,
and they don't want to have Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman anymore.
Wonder Woman's in the movie.
Yeah, she's in it.
Ben Affleck spoiled this scene. Ben Affleck, Batman gets I guess he's hanging off something, and she saves him with the lasso of truth. And then he, while he's being saved, he's explaining how he feels about being Batman and stuff like that. So that's just like his big scene.
Yeah. So it's just like so many little things. I think because the only reason I would want to see it, Michael Keaton.
I ain't gonna lie, the agent for him looks amazing.
Yeah,
that looks amazing.
That's the thing. That's the thing I want to go see him for. But I'm kind of...
It's basically a Batman movie. I'm not going for the Flash. I'm going for Michael Keaton.
So if DC wanted to make money, all they would have to do is do a Flashpoint movie, they bring in Ezra Miller, but all he does, like I heard this somewhere else, and it facilitates the interaction between all the Batmans. You bring Christian Bale in, you wouldn't care about Supergirl or Superman or anyone else. It's all about him destroying realities and having all the Batmans work together. So he's kind of like the pass through. Because you remember in Spider-Verse, amazing movie, because here all these Spider-Men are having to interact with one another, and literally DC was just taking a play from Sony's playbook. And Spider-Man is Sony's. That's literally the bread and butter that Sony has. It's an absolutely amazing movie. I'm curious about how the second Into the Spider-Verse is going to go with but wheelchair bound.
Well, with all the Spider-Man and universe going after him, that looks fire. That looks amazing.
Yeah, but it's just, this thing seems a little too, just like with Suicide Squad. You remember everyone was hyped up for it, and then it's such a letdown.
It was horrible.
Because not only that, is they had the perfect script before them. They had Arkham Asylum.
Assault on Arkham.
There it is. That's such an amazing thing. Here they have the Flashpoint paradox. They have something there, which they could bring Thomas Wayne back. I mean, that actor isn't doing much, so they could have easily brought him back to do
Jeffrey
the role.
Dean Morgan?
Yeah.
The one that's constantly doing The Walking Dead is probably still filming The Walking Dead right now.
But that's the thing. It's a show. He could still be brought back to do that, and I'm pretty sure he'd be down to do the role.
Oh, absolutely.
He'd be epic in that role. I would love to see him as Thomas Wayne, reprise the role of Thomas Wayne.
I feel like that was the whole point. There was no point of having a big name like Jeffrey Dean Morgan and even Lauren Cohen, Maggie from The Walking Dead, for them to betray the parents for 2 seconds if y'all wasn't going to bring them back.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things that it's just like, you had the script, and here they're bringing in 3 different Batmans in the same world. They're doing the Red Sun storyline, but they're getting rid of Henry Cavill and bringing in Supergirl instead. I don't know why. It seems like they're trying to throw so much in because they're doing so many different books, comic strips, trying to throw it into one. Because the Red Sun is basically when, the Superman lands in the Soviet Union, and he is captured and basically imprisoned, and he is starved. It's even in the Flashpoint paradox. They have that Red Sun or the Yellow Sun starved Superman in the bunker underneath. He's hidden underground.
I should watch that movie.
Yeah, he's scrawny, absolutely scrawny, and then he escapes. And in the first trailer, they show Kara. Her name wasn't, but she's
Caro, whatever her name.
Yeah. So they show her, and she's basically in like a medical gown, flying in the sun, and that's who saves Ezra Miller, the flashless power one, and Batman, because she's in the background. It's just so many little things that are just thrown in as Easter eggs. But I don't think the story is going to be concrete. I don't think the story is really going to be there. It's going to be primarily for the nostalgia bait. It's going to be a Force Awakens of the DC, or of all the Batman, basically. All the Batman. And that's absolutely aggravating. I don't like how they do this. Like you said, if you're going to do something and you're unhappy with how it's going, start over. Completely start over. If you liked some of the actors, bring them back and keep them. Yeah, but I know you're struggling to talk. You don't have the
voice. Have no idea, bro. I'm trying to put my shirt over my mouth so I can warm up my nose.
Yeah.
People always think like, oh, something stink. Like, no, fool. I'm just trying to warm up my nose so it can kind of like clear up. Can you still hear me this way?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, good. I'm gonna talk like this from the whole time now. Thank God.
You're still perfectly fine. All it's doing is it's working as a crap. What's the plosive guard that most things?
Yeah, when they be like rapping and all that in the spit guard.
Yeah, it's not a spit guard. It's supposed to protect it from the peas, the popping, the sounds, because plosive sounds are just.
It got me thinking about you already know what I'm thinking about, Joey and Gary Oldman. And Friends. I love that episode.
And when you enunciate,
What I find funny is you got Ezra Miller doing all this, and is guilty. He's been in jail and all that. Meanwhile, you have Jonathan Majors, Kang from Marvel, who got accused of putting hands on his woman. His talent agency dropped him. There's now reports that he might be recast as Kang. I'm like, man, that's bullshit.
Well, the issue is,
I completely, I could say, I could throw race into this, but you guys will have to remember this is a whole different company. Not everybody,
Yep.
handles stuff the same way that somebody else do. But at the same time, though, accused. You know how many people that are in jail right now because they were accused of something? There was a football player who got, I think like maybe 7 years in prison, and then come to find out, the chick finally came out and admitted that he didn't touch her or anything. Yep. And then what happened to her? Not a goddamn thing. So stop just automatically stop. You're innocent until proven guilty. If y'all don't have no proof, if it's an accusation, don't get me wrong. Keep them on a leash, watch them, maybe hold back on some stuff, but to sit there and just completely just toss them to the side, that's bullshit.
Look at what happened to Johnny Depp. Except Johnny Depp has such a huge fan base, he's getting his career back, and hopefully Amber Heard loses hers entirely.
Well, she's still in Aquaman.
Yeah,
I heard they showed footage at whatever con there was, and there's a trailer, and she was in it. The thing is, I think her role was probably cut down a lot. It's probably because it was an important role, but at the same time, just recast it. I've seen so many TV shows, and man, they recasted Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's dark skinned. We got dark skinned Rhodey. We got light skinned Aunt Viz. I just watched Power, and Redman character is now somebody totally different. So y'all could have recasted her. She's not a good actress at all. She just looks good. That's it. I've never in my life heard somebody say, "Hey, yo, let's check out the Amber Heard movie," unless she's in that bitch naked or something. Other than that, if it's a movie to where she's just completely clothed, everybody she's in this movie. Oh, okay, so that might sound bad, but I don't care though. Her talent is the fact that she looks good. So the fact that y'all still kept her in Aquaman 2 after everything that goes on, WB Warner Brothers be on some bullshit because y'all kicked Johnny Depp out. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Accusations and all that. How the hell y'all kick out Johnny Depp out of Fantastic Beasts and all that, but y'all still got Amber Heard? Oh, winner's video, winner's testimony, all that good stuff.
The only reason I was going to go continue to watch that series was because of him.
And yes, absolutely. I haven't watched a single one now.
And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to go watch them. And they started bombing in the theaters.
Yep, good.
People were excited because the first one, it was, it's a Harry Potter spinoff. And then at the very end, you realize it's Johnny Depp. And it's like, we're going to go see it for Johnny Depp.
Everybody in the theater was like, yo, wait a minute. I was excited. I'm like, we got Johnny Depp in these?
They got it the second one. And then the third one, it's like, okay, finally, we're going to get it. We're going to get the action-packed sequence we wanted. We wanted Grindelwald versus Dumbledore.
Yeah, but we got them in a totally different setting, though. It went from doing to, they in the bedroom now.
Yeah. So it's just like, and I didn't bother going. Like, nope, no Johnny Depp. No respect for the company.
Don't get me wrong. The actor they got, I forgot, Mad something. I forgot to pronounce his name.
But whatever, Mad. Yeah,
great actor. Yeah, I love. He's a great actor.
Him as honestly, Hannibal Lecter was amazing.
Best villain in the Daniel Craig James Bond. Also, I loved him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I'm not gonna say. I enjoyed him a lot. I give him that. But yeah, he's a great actor. So they picked one. I'm just sorry to say, bro, you came after Johnny Depp, and the reason that you're here is not good. So I'm sorry, I can't support it.
Yeah, the fact that he was replacing someone who everybody knew was innocent. That's the thing. Everyone on the outside was like, yeah, this poor guy's innocent. He's being manipulated and destroyed. The fact that, like, there are so many videos of Johnny Depp asking for help and nobody's listening. It's because there are recordings where he's like, where do you find most happy? I would like to go back home. Like to go back home. Certain things where he's just like, seems devastated. Seems his life's like ruined. But yeah,
hey, that trial was great. I love Johnny Depp.
It was great.
Everybody just kept laughing at everything he said. They like, I know the judge was like, hey, yo, chill. I love Johnny too, but come on now.
Yeah, it's always funny when you see the trials. Like, what was it? Gwyneth Paltrow? She was on trial recently. Was it
Oh,
Gwyneth
I didn't
Paltrow?
even know.
Yeah, and it seemed like not the defense, the accusing attorney, like the one that she was that was supposed to be questioning her, was like asking her fangirls, like, "Do you know Taylor Swift? Are you friends with Taylor Swift? How often do you go see her?" Just like,
Oh
what
wow.
the heck is going on here? But
I did love
yeah,
that they got that one dude that was vaping in his car. Like, my
yeah.
boy's on his break, man. Like, leave him alone. He's about to do what he got to do. But he's just sitting there like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, I
Yeah.
love this guy. Yeah, that
But
trial. I can't wait for the movie. Well,
yeah,
stop. They already did a movie. It's a crappy movie. I forgot what channel it was. Probably like Tubi or something. But yeah, they already started on the movie. Ain't
yeah.
nobody
But
watching that one.
like that's the thing. I think the only reason DC committed all the way through with it with Ezra Miller is because, well, the movie was already recorded and it would cost even more after the fact to reshoot everything. And he's in every single shot because there are two Ezra Millers in this movie.
That's true. Yeah.
So he's taking up his normal non-powerful side is basically paired up with Batman the majority of the time, and then his powerful side is taking up the rest of the scene. So it's just one of those things that they probably would have tossed him to the wolves because he is guilty. I mean, even like one of the, because a movie came out around the time of everything started coming out, all his antics and actions, they all started happening. And even the director of that said that if she would have known prior to everything, it would have happened. But the fact that it was already shot and recorded, and this was a lower budget film,
Yeah.
I would give it to them. It's just like, yeah, you don't have the money for that. Just show it. And
True.
I hope they get help. But you need your income, or try to find a way to, because of their actions, and it's going to what is it? Not be received well.
Yeah.
You can pick them from receiving any income whatsoever. I think that's the avenue they would have to go, is like, because of your actions, it's going to negatively impact our, viewing audience, that you will not be able to receive X and Y percentage of the, ticket sales or whatever due to your actions and how they're going to, because let's face it, with how everyone has a camera in their pocket. Everyone has access to everyone's recorded. Everyone's on the spot. So it would make sense to start putting that in a clause for all actors, for everyone, basically, because you can literally destroy a career. Because if things were known about people back in the day, their livelihoods, people would not have gone to the movies because there would be speculation, or even speculation with what's happening with Jonathan Majors. People would stop and not support it entirely. It was just insane how it affects it, that I'm surprised they didn't add a clause in a long time ago. I would have been surprised. I'm actually really surprised by that, because there should be a clause in there for something like that.
Yeah.
I feel because I don't feel like he deserves anything for his role. Sure, if he's a great, amazing actor, great. But he needs to at least seek help, because he clearly has issues. There's video of him strangling a woman. There is a video of him fighting an officer because he's being arrested for breaking and entering and stealing alcohol. There's records of him being in jail 3 separate times in Hawaii for over partying or something, I'm pretty sure. He's just, are you looking stuff up?
You already know it. Know it.
Yeah, there's
damn. Is he really choking? Wow.
Yeah, there is footage of it. You
Hold up.
You haven't seen this stuff?
No.
This is what I mean.
He really straight up just choked her and threw her to the ground.
Yeah. He pushed her against the trash can first, the dumpster.
Yeah, I'm watching. She thought it was a joke. No, man. He gotta go. He gotta go.
Pushed her to the ground. Like, in the beginning, I was like, no, this is just play. And then the fact that he pushes her to the back and then takes her to the ground, I'm like, no.
Nah, he gotta go. He gotta go, man. That's not cool.
Yeah. Yet, what evidence do we have for Jonathan Majors?
Actor Ezra Miller corrects officers' use of pronouns during arrest. Hey, bro, fuck your pronouns. You over here choking. You over here just, choking fans and all that. You, them, he, she, you know what? Y'all all need to be in jail, bro. You don't need to be sitting there doing $200 million movies, getting paid like $20 million, and you sitting there treating people like that. What a piece of shit. That's wild. I can't believe I just saw that. Meanwhile, Jonathan Majors, who got accused of doing this, is losing everything. But we're sitting here with a straight up video of it, and he's still doing his movies. That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like the movie was already in production for a long period of time. They couldn't go back on.
Hey, well, this better be his last DC movie. I hope the reshoots were changing up the ending, and maybe to the point where we get I gotta go back to the nose because I feel it coming. What's Flash. His name? Yeah, get the Flash from the CW.
Wally West.
Have him come in. Or
you want that Barry Allen?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't watch it
because there's so many different Flashes. There's Barry Allen, Bart Thompson, and Wally West. Wally West, everyone's favorite. So bring Wally West in. Make him the main focus. Sorry, I think I'm stuttering over everything now. But they should make him the main focus because there's so many things they could do. They've introduced 3 separate Batmans because they're obviously doing the other Earth stories somehow in this Flashpoint paradox. Somehow they're doing the Red Sun story somehow in this it's just so many things they're adding into this that is just crazy for some. I don't know how, because the Flash does have the ability to go from Earth to Earth to Earth, but this is where the time travel one. This is where he travels through time to save his mother, because it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things because in one of the trailers, he's like, I just ruined the metahumans. There are no metahumans anymore. I destroyed the timeline. It's just like, seems interesting. Batman. Seems interesting, but you have 3 Batmans, and I'm Batman.
Well, I think Ben Affleck's Batman probably only going to be in the beginning, because he even said he's not going to even be in it long. He's probably in it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's out the door. I'm pretty sure Gal Gadot.
Even though she was Gal Gadot, even though she was just in that Shazam movie. Which, by the way, have you seen that movie yet?
Nah,
man. It looks like, this is the thing that pisses me off about the Shazam. When he's a kid, he's just like a mature kid. But the second he sit there, Shazam, hey, pop. I don't know how to pee in this thing, bro. I understand you got powers, but you're sitting there acting like a little ass kid. And it's even like that in the second one from what I hear. And I'm glad that everybody caught on to that. Like, yo, y'all do know y'all playing the same character. So that part right there makes me not even want to see the movie, honestly.
Well, that's the thing. It's like DC in general. They were supposed to be the grittier, the darker. They had Superman kill Zod, which anyone who is a comic book fan absolutely despised that. Of course, some were like, oh, this is amazing. I agree that Henry Cavill was an amazing casting choice. I just don't think the direction was correct. I don't think Zack Snyder's Snyderverse worked from the beginning. I was against it from the start. Everyone seemed to like Man of Steel. Everyone seemed to like it. A lot of people enjoyed it. I didn't, because of comic book relevancy. I don't believe in changing. I don't believe in changing something that's been around for a long period of time. Even though in the original comics, Superman. Did you know Superman could create powers on the fly?
No, you say you're against changing something that's been around for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So you telling me if Jack in the Box said, "Hey, we're going to take off Mayo," you're going to be against that, even though it's been around for a long period of time?
Dude, mayo is disgusting. Mayo is absolutely disgusting. Nobody better eat mayo.
I'm sorry, you said it. But continue.
But I'm talking about something like a concrete. Like, if you're a creator of something, you want to see that. Like, okay, let's look at. I jumped to another topic right here, just real quick. Don't get mad at me for this. But like, you look at the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, fucking even worse.
Look at Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was basically committed to the character. The reason why everyone was white in the Lord of the Rings was because that's the way it was depicted in the books. The way it was depicted that way in the books was because the creator felt like Britain was robbed of having a mythology that he created his own for them.
Yeah.
And now they're completely changing the mythology he had created. I mean, that's like, well, honestly, I think it would be funny to switch out Zeus with a black actor, just because a black female actress. There we go. Switch out Zeus to that. Just change the narrative of everything. But it's just like one of those things that you don't touch things because that's how they've been. That's how they were written to be. If you want to change people out, you change side characters or comic books people don't care about, and you make them amazing. What happened with Blade? Blade was this a white vampire nobody cared about.
I remember him in an episode of Spider-Man. Yep.
You bring Wesley Snipes, and immediately everyone's like, this is one of the coolest comic book characters ever. They start making him black in the comics, and it sold like crazy. That's how you do it. You do the same thing with freaking Nick Fury. You did with Nick Fury, and it was absolutely phenomenal. You took a character who nobody cared about. You made him iconic by recasting him with someone who was amazing for the role, and he became a household name.
Yep.
Well, nobody knew who Nick Fury was before Samuel L. Jackson played him. Nobody knew who Blade was till Wesley Snipes played him. That's how you do it. You don't take someone like Spider-Man and Superman and make Peter Parker black. You don't make
you gotta do that with lesser known characters. It works better with lesser known characters.
Yeah,
you can't do that with a household name. You can't have Batman all of a sudden be fucking Leslie Chow from The Hangover. Okay, maybe I should have used somebody better. You can't have him be homeboy from Crazy Rich Asians, the main dude. Like, no, I'm sorry, you good, but no, Batman's not Asian.
Yeah, you
can't switch up a man.
I think the reason for that is you can't take something that's iconic and recast them. Why? Because it's already iconic and it's built in everyone's mind. If you take someone,
you could be saying that. You could say that about all these animated movies that they've been doing now. With a perfect example, Little Mermaid. Oh, Little Mermaid was white and all that. So why are we gonna make her black? Isn't that kind of like the same argument a little bit?
Not really, because I honestly don't care about that. Because the thing is, the Little Mermaid.
Well, what I'm saying is, from what you're saying, couldn't that also be the same thing that those people are saying when it comes to these animated movies coming out and they're always changing the race?
Yeah, I guess, because I'm honestly annoyed, but at the same time, when it comes to something like that, I've never been so attached to those characters. I didn't read hundreds of comic book strips about the Little Mermaid.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The Little Mermaid, and like I said, all these animated movies, it's just the one movie. Yeah, it's the one movie that everybody loves, but it's the one movie. Whereas you have stuff like Iron Man, Batman, Spider-Man. You're having hundreds, thousands, decade long, of these comic books, and they're always the same character. So then when you're finally getting ready to put it out there, now all of a sudden you want to sit there and change it up. Yeah,
Like that's the thing. I mean, Marvel was doing great with race swapping characters. When they gender swapped one character, everyone absolutely hated it. So that was kind of
what character?
Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was originally a male.
Oh,
I didn't know that. Series. And then he wasn't popular at all. He wasn't that big, that major. And then they swapped him out, and Carol Danvers, is that her name?
Carol Danvers, yeah.
Yeah. And again, nobody cared.
But then again, that's because nobody cares about Brie Larson. If you had like a better actress, then maybe.
And the writing was done terribly. But it's just like there are ways of doing things that work, that are.
The second one looks kind of good. Only because, one, it looks like she's not the main character, and she's only going to be getting switched.
You mean the one that looks like the sets were taken off of the old Star Trek?
I don't watch Star Trek.
Power Rangers sets? The Power Rangers sets?
Talking about the new the Marvels?
Yeah, the Marvels.
I didn't really check out the set. The reason I was liking it because, one, it looks like it's going to be more fun. You get 3 of them instead of 1, so we don't have to deal with Brie Larson as much. So that's why it looks better than the first one.
I think the special effects look like crap and the sets look absolutely dreadful for the money. That's why but yeah, I mean, the Flash, I think they should go with Wally West. I think they should recast him entirely and just change up the story, get Get rid of the whole Barry Allen story. Make him die at the very end. I mean, there is that one scene where Supergirl's flying up in the air with a dead corpse in her arms. Make that be Barry Allen, and have Wally West take the reins from there, because Wally West is supposed to be like Iris's son. Something.
Iris West. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he basically takes over. So they could easily do something like that, because I absolutely do not like him as a person, and I'm going to say that that way because
no, fuck him. He should eat a dick. Somebody should have slapped the shit out of him when he was choking that fan.
Yeah, but you have to be polite and use the proper pronouns when
fuck his pronouns. He shouldn't have been choking up on the fan. I don't know what his pronouns are. I don't really give a shit. I don't know. I'm not about to sit there and show respect to a motherfucker that's not showing respect to everybody else. Doing B&Es over here, sitting there putting his hands on fans. Fuck him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's footage,
and he's getting away with everything. So excuse me if I'm sitting there and misusing pronouns off a motherfucker that's really just getting away with everything. Because bad enough I got to deal with that shit at work. Fuck that. You ain't about to be sitting there fucking with my movies. You got to go. He, she, they got to go. I respect everybody pronouns but his or hers or theirs or its.
I think they them.
Whichever one Ezra doesn't like, that's the one I'm gonna use.
The you
regardless, motherfucker can still catch hands.
That's the thing. I'm excited to see Michael Keaton return.
Oh, I think everybody is.
That's the one thing. That's the thing, because I saw the second trailer and I was confused by it, because that was the first one I saw originally. I saw that one and I was like, this is a Batman movie. Michael Keaton is returning as Batman for his third movie. Okay, I'm down with this. And then because there's like, I'm sure I clicked on the flash because he's there for the first 20, 25, 30 seconds. It's nothing but Michael Keaton narrating everything. Showing his mansion, showing the bat symbol, showing it was all about Michael Keaton. Even at the very end, they show his bat symbol.
You want to get nuts?
Cycling everything else. Yeah. Yeah. So it was just like one of those things. I was like, great, a Batman movie. It's like they're trying, even in that trailer, they were trying to distance themselves as much as possible from Ezra Miller, which might work. But
what I love about the fact that they bringing Michael Keaton back is that the agent looks so great that they could actually do sequels or bring back people from way back in the day. Hell, if they wanted to, they could have brought Jack Nicholson back as the Joker if they wanted to. I mean, look at that the agent. Y'all could have easily got us that 89 Jack Nicholson. So with this the agent, they can do so much. Hell, they could bring back Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford said that's his last Indiana Jones, and I'm thinking like, duh, you're on your way out soon. But with the agent, he could sit there and do a whole nother trilogy. Of course, it'd be somebody else sitting there doing all the heavy work. But as far as him just walking around, talking, doing this, doing that, and looking like the Indiana Jones from the 80s and all that, they can easily do that. So technology is coming a long way.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not a real fan of. I do like how they play their nostalgic roles. They bring them back. They're able to play those roles once again, and it's all bait though to get us fans who love the originals all excited. And what if the movie just turns out to be trash, and then our memories of these roles are completely destroyed? That's the one thing I'm worried about.
As long as Michael Keaton's Batman is dope, I don't. That's all good for me.
Out of all the Michael Keaton sequels we're getting, the one I want. What do you think? Which one I want?
Don't tell me Beetlejuice.
Of course, Beetlejuice.
They're actually now saying it's in the works.
Talking about it.
I know they've been talking about that for years, but now it's officially in the works. Let me look it up right now.
Because Beetlejuice was one of the best.
I didn't care for that movie like that.
But that's the thing. They could make it so much darker.
Oh, absolutely.
The context, because it was a PG movie. That could have easily been rated R. And they better bring it back. Honestly, they should have no cursing whatsoever, though. They should make it as weird as it was originally. Just make it far more graphic. Make it far more disturbing visually. If you bring Tim Burton back,
it's in development.
Who's directing?
I don't think they have that yet. It just means they're just working on it. So in other words, nothing going on.
But that's the thing. I think it's been like that for
a long time. So what was it? So Warner Brothers had a showcase, and they were showing like a reel of logos of like all their movies, and Beetlejuice popped up. So yeah, it's in the work. They probably don't have nothing going, but they basically just let us know that yeah, we're getting ready to do the film.
Well,
But they
I
don't.
guess it makes sense because they roped Michael Keaton in to do Batman, and they're probably just going to pull him off of that.
Because remember, he's also in Batgirl also.
Yep.
Which is what sucks. It's like I want to. Yeah, Flash is not really the first movie that he was going to be in. He was going to be in Batgirl also. Well, ain't no was. He is in Batgirl as Batman.
And then that got thrown out the window.
Yeah, like what are y'all doing?
Yeah, but Batgirl they canceled because the show was doing dreadful, and it's just like if that's the case, but that's the thing. If it's done,
but the show was just suck though. That doesn't mean the movie's going to suck.
If the writing is done well, the directing is done well. You have great story direction, great actors in the role. You don't get people who can't act just because they meet the quota. Yeah, just because they meet a quota or fit a check mark, whatever. You don't get them for that. You get someone who actually is qualified. I think that's the thing that's been. Did you know that Hollywood has this huge list of things that they now need to?
Like you got to at least have like a black person, a trans person, all that. I'm calling it stupid shit because peep this. If there's a movie, I'm not saying that you should not have people in there. I mean, like there's no problem having blacks, trans, and all that. But to sit there and say that we must have these people, it's like what? In order to be like nominated for awards and all that. That's the thing. If there's a movie, let's say it's set, well, I can't even say Detroit no more because it's not, since I've been back in Detroit. It's like damn, it's like far more gays and all that, which is not a problem. But it's like Detroit has changed since I lived here. But like, it's like if I like, give me a good example because I'm all throwing off here. I'm about to fucking sneeze.
My thing is, I don't care who is working on something as long as they're qualified.
Oh shit.
The biggest issue now is if I was to apply for a job of writing or even directing or even they would not go for me. And even now they wouldn't go for you, which was the case in the past. Remember, we'd both apply for a job. You have a better chance of getting it than I would. And now the case is they wouldn't go for you. They would go for they. Because they are the ones, they are a rarer commodity, and there has to be a certain percentages of those they in there. So it makes it next.
Now I was watching an episode of Entourage. Darabont, Frank Darabont, I think his name was Darabont, was talking to Vince about a movie. And Vince wanted to end on a movie. He's like, there's no part for you because everybody in this movie is, I think he said over 55. And they're like, I think like 55-year-old males or females or whatever. So what if that movie turned out to be like one of the best movies ever? But because of this quota now, y'all not going to do nothing with it because there's no, because there's no blacks, there's no trans, but the movie is set in a spot where there's only like 55%, men over 55 and all that. So it doesn't fit the quota, but it's a great movie. And the subject has to have this and not that. Y'all can't get mad at that. So having a quota, it's like in jobs. Like I can't tell you how my managers have told me, like, yeah, we be hiring, these people, that people, this race, that race, because of a quota. That's bullshit. If they're not fit for the job, don't hire them.
That's the thing that's gotten lost. It's just like you have to have a certain percentage, and not just in general. It has to be at that specific location. And it's just,
hey, I'd rather work at a job with all white people that actually know what they're doing than work somewhere where it's just all black people, but the majority of them don't know what the fuck they're doing. Not saying that black people are like that, but you get what I'm saying. Like I'd rather work with people that know what they're doing, not people that are in my crowd, but they fucking suck. I'm not dealing with that. Bring in the whites. That mean I don't have to do that much work. Bring them in. Like, come on, man.
It makes more sense to work with someone who's incredibly productive than working with people. Because I manage people, and if people aren't productive, like I tried to get a few people fired for the longest time, and I kept being told, no, I can't do that. It was just like, this is ridiculous. They're not qualified for the job. And I believe people aren't qualified for the job. Well, guess what? They shouldn't have the job.
Exactly. I kind of feel like that where I'm working at now is just like,
But
Is
that's
there a
not
reason that
the
y'all still
mindset.
keeping these people? Because they clearly suck.
Yeah, and
Like,
most of the time, when you're having to pick up other people's slack, it strains you out even more. And it's just, I don't think, like, especially Hollywood. Hollywood is led by these people who live in their $1 million mansions, wear thousands of dollars worth of clothing to go down a red carpet, and then sniff their own farts as they go to an Oscars to pat themselves on the back for
bro,
such great work they're doing.
what the hell are you talking about sniffing farts?
They like doing their own stuff. They live in their own little world. They don't care about what is real people deal with. They do not care for what real people deal with. They don't care because they never have to. They can afford to have people come and cook them food. They can afford to have anything they want in life. And yet the people who live day for day struggling are having to suffer through watching terrible movies that are made because these quotas have to be met. And these quotas are basically put by people who are at the top of the top. What? Oh, you got to sneeze? Come on, let it out. No, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Nah, thank God. I had to I had to. Yeah, I had to make sure. I had to make sure y'all couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I see you struggling. Like, it's like, oh snap, he's gonna
continue talking. I might just lean off camera so I can blow my nose.
Yeah. So it goes basically back to like the whole Flash. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I doubt it will be any good. And really, what is the point? Because the DCeU has never actually taken off. They have struggled since the beginning because they started with Man of Steel, which is controversial at best, but I think the majority seem to actually enjoy it for what it was. Yeah, see, Big Daddy agrees, even though you can't hear him blowing his nose. Yeah, so it's just like one of those things. It was controversial at best. And then I think it went straight from that to BVS.
The Batman versus Superman, which I thought that movie sucked. It was so boring.
It went from the Man of Steel to Batman versus Superman, which was very uncomfortable to begin with because Batman Returns, the comic book strips, which was basically
The Dark Knight Returns.
No. Batman Returns, the animated movies.
The Dark Knight Returns. You talking about when he the two-parter when Joker killed himself, and then the Dark Knight Returns. They adapted that a little bit in what you call Dark Knight Rises.
Thing I don't like is like when you had Batman and Superman, they were literally the same age. That
wasn't Dark Knight Returns because he did fight Batman and Superman. I mean, both of them did fight. My bad.
The same kind of sequence.
Yeah.
And it's just like the whole Martha thing was absolutely dumb. And I already knew that Zack Snyder wasn't qualified by his previous movie. And then you have that Easter egg of these YouTube videos.
That was horrible.
Of Wonder Woman, and he was just like
Aquaman struggling to hold his breath underwater. Damn, that's what it looked like. I'm like, man, this shit horrible.
Just trying to introduce the Justice League, and I'm like, you've already packed in way too much. They were trying so hard to catch up to what Marvel had established.
Yep.
That they literally had already run it into the ground by their second movie. Their second movie, they had ruined it. They didn't have any plan going forward. You started strong with, questionably strong with Man of Steel. Questionably.
Yeah.
Could have easily done something different. Lex Luthor is an amazing. Why you had
Jesse Eisenberg? That was just all types of stupid.
Yep. I
was like, what were they thinking? Y'all might do. They should have got Michael Cera.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing. It's like they had a scene with Jesse Eisenberg and Batman v Superman, which reminded me completely of Heath Ledger's Joker, where it kind of zooms in at a low angle. He's wearing his long cloak. His hair is billowing in the wind. It just looked like shot for shot from the Dark Knight. Because I just had a Joker vibes with that. And they made him act like the Joker. Lex Luthor is supposed to be calculated. He's supposed to be smart. He's supposed to toy with Superman. That's what he does. He's always in the right place at the right time. He's always manipulating Superman to do things that he wants. I mean, even I always forget his name from the original Superman movies.
Gene Hackman.
Yes, Gene Hackman. He used Superman. He convinced Superman, you have the dead switch in that box. And then he opens the box and basically gets exposed to kryptonite on his own. It's just like,
even Kevin Spacey was a good Lex Luthor.
Yes, you said the name, not me. Yes, he was an amazing one.
I love the ref. The ref was great.
Yeah. So
Baby Driver.
But the problem is, it's like they had, Zack Snyder's an amazing artist. I've always liked kind of what he does cinematically, kind of.
I get you.
He's an amazing artist, but you don't get an artist to direct a nerd film. You get a nerd to direct a nerd film. I mean, that's why the original Marvels were great, because the original Marvel movies were great because you had Jon Favreau, who was committed to the characters, who's an absolute nerd working on it, who has basically lost hope in everything he works on just because he's been destroyed by the Mandalorian. You were going to say something? Maybe not. Yeah, but I'm just not a fan of getting people who are not qualified or not as passionate about something as they should be.
Yeah, Zack Snyder, like, he's not a bad director or anything, but like the only things that I haven't liked has been everything he does with DC. Watchmen, I thought Watchmen was good, but it was a little long. It was kind of boring, but overall, I thought that was an enjoyable movie. Army of the Dead, I thought was a cool movie. Dawn of the Dead, I thought that was great. 300, great. But when it comes to these DC movies, it's just lacking every single time. Of course, the questionable Man of Steel. Some hate it, some like it. I'm one of the ones that like it. But yeah, this DC is not working for him. He needs to just venture off and just do his own movies. Because like I said, when he did Army of the Dead, I enjoyed that. Even though there was some, there's a lot more questions than we got answers, but it's because he's trying to do something more with that universe. But yeah, this DC Zack Snyder is not happening. I'm tired of slow motion every 5 seconds.
Yeah, you mentioned the more questions than answers. That just reminds me of J.J. Abrams' mystery box concept. You give the audience a mystery box, and they'll get so curious as to what's in that mystery box that even if you never open it, they'll keep returning just to find out what's in it.
That was like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that was kind of like the whole thing for the lightsaber. That's a good story for another time. Everything was a mystery. Everything was a mystery that you were like, oh, this never going to get answered. They don't care to answer it. It's not important. It was a complete joke. So it's just like,
he better, because this fool had zombies, and then when he shot a zombie, I was like, hey, yo, did that zombie just spark? Gonna find out it's robots. So I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? Also, there's like time travel, because I think Amari Hardwick's character because talking about like, what we're stuck in like a time loop, and then you see like all these dead bodies that have their clothes on. It's just like, hey, bro, what are you doing here? So if that's something that's never going to get answered, then hey, Zach, you're a piece of shit for that.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like. Is like every director now is trying to do that mystery box thing, and it's like, don't introduce something if you're not going to establish it, and don't introduce something if you're going to completely ignore it in like the last part of the act. I'm looking at you, Guillermo del Toro, in Pinocchio. That was the dumbest thing you could have done. You can't introduce something, and at the very end, you're just like, oh, you can shatter the mirrors. You can shatter the glass of time. It's not important. But yeah, it's just like one of those things. Superhero films are dead. I haven't cared to see one. Like Thor, Love and Thunder has been out forever.
Hold on, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
You should watch it. You should watch it.
Haven't seen the first Shazam. Haven't seen the second Wonder Woman. I haven't cared to watch these ever since.
Throw me a movie. Let me give you let me just tell you how I felt about it. Throw me a movie right quick.
Shazam.
The first Shazam, like I told you about it. The character, how he's a little kid, and he's a mature 13-year-old, and then all of a sudden he's childish as hell. The villain, which is played by Mark Strong. Mark Strong was decent, even though he's played way better villains. Mark Strong is great when it comes to a villain. So here, he was decent. Action was okay. Comedy was cool, but overall, it was like a childish movie. The reason I love that you brought this up first is because that Sean, you know which Sean I'm talking about, said this is about a 8 or a 9. Bro, this movie is easily a 7. Its max is a 7. because it's just like a mediocre. It's a mediocre superhero movie. This belongs with Marvel's like Phase 4 or something.
Yeah, like that's the thing. All of DC, like, okay, Aquaman. What'd you think of the first Aquaman movie?
Damn, you didn't see the first Aquaman?
Nah.
That one was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I didn't like that every time they're talking, like they have a conversation, something blows up. I like the villain. Yeah, I swear to God, I thought it was a joke when I heard that. I went to go see the movie 5 times. They'd be like, "Oh, where's he at? I don't know, but you look good." Boom. I'm like, nah. That's the 3rd time, and we still got an hour left. So, Jason Momoa was great. The action was cool. I like the villain. The visuals are cool. Overall, I'd probably give that movie about a 7.5, 8 out of 10. You saw Black Adam, right?
No.
I said the movie was dope at first because I love The Rock, and it's a Rock in a superhero movie. Looking back at it, that movie was straight trash because it was The Rock. The whole movie. I felt like I forgot where I heard it from, but they said his character development was him trying to say a catchphrase. Tell them that the man in black sent you. All it was just fighting the Justice Society throughout the whole movie. The villain was straight trash. The kid that was in the movie, that you know how they always have to be a kid to kind of like show this movie's Hogarth. This Hogarth was straight trash. He was so annoying. I was hoping that he'd fall off that skateboard and into oncoming traffic. I originally gave like the movie probably like a 7. This movie is like a straight up 4. It's horrible. It deserved to flop. You say you didn't see Thor?
Nope.
That was the worst Thor in the franchise. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to watch Thor 2 again, but this Thor was just joke after joke after joke after joke. It never stopped. Even they made Zeus a complete idiot. All he kept talking about was orgies. Scott, Scott from Applebee's. We was talking about it. He was like, yo, my daughter asked me what's an orgy, because Russell Crowe kept talking about it.
It's an orange.
I saw the deleted scenes, the alternate scenes of Zeus, and I'm like, yo, these scenes are much better. He seems like more of like somebody that's trying to guide Thor to be something better and all that. And y'all made him a complete joke. And now the upcoming villain, him and Hercules, supposed to be like the villains in Thor 5. I'm like, I don't care to see it. He was trash in this one. Jane as Mighty Thor, she was trash. Her trying to come up with a catchphrase. Her catchphrase was "Eat my hammer." Horrible. It
really?
was. Yes, her catchphrase became "Eat my hammer." Where we eat something else, but girl, it's not going to be your hammer. The movie sucked. It was horrible. It was horrible.
And you see why I haven't bothered to go see. Like, I already knew. Like that's the thing. I've heard that Dwayne Johnson has basically ruined his chances at really any kind of, like, his film career has kind of gone down the because he was apparently trying to do too much, control too much during Black Adam.
I heard that, yeah. Because I mean, he brought in Superman. Like, why would you bring in Superman when you're from what I hear, your main arch nemesis is supposed to be Shazam?
Yeah,
we're gonna get you versus Superman. It's cool that you brought Henry Cavill back, but
Shazam,
your villain supposed to be, or the person you're supposed to be going against is Shazam.
Shazam, or his original name was Marvel, but
yeah, I mean, of course, because of Marvel, yeah.
I had to change it to Shazam, but that's the thing. It's like, it's a complete running joke, and they're giving these actors who aren't qualified to write or tell a story. And honestly, I already knew you would enjoy it just because it's The Rock.
I enjoyed the first time I saw it. Then after I thought about it again, I'm like, actually, honestly, the best part about it wasn't even The Rock. It was Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. Everybody loved Pierce Brosnan in that movie.
Dr. Fate's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pissed.
He's Pierce Brosnan, which was why I thought this movie was cool. I love Pierce Brosnan. They could have did more with them, but yeah, like, that's what we got.
Yeah, because I remember even in the animation, the voice actor for Dr. Fate, I think, was the guy who played the Magi in The Mummy.
Oh, I forgot how to say his name. I love him.
Honestly, if he was to come play Dr. Fate, I would absolutely love it, because I always wanted a Dr. Fate movie, because he's someone who doesn't get involved. He just watches as everything happens, basically, because it's a helmet. Dr. Fate is a helmet. Yeah, it's not a person, it's a helmet. Dr. Fate is the helmet, it's not the person.
Yep.
he only gets with the he basically possesses the most powerful mage at that point in time. So
yeah, honestly, he was the best part of that movie. I wish they kept him. Oh, you plan on watching Ant-Man because it's coming out on Disney Plus in like 2 weeks.
dude, I've given up on the Marvel movies.
Okay, Ant-Man. It wasn't the fact that they said it's the worst Marvel movie. Hell no, that movie was not bad. They could have did more with Kang, but of course we know they're setting up Kang, and there's a bunch of them. So this is probably not even the most powerful one. But the fact that he took over the entire Quantum by himself shows you something. But the fact that he got beat by a dude with ants and a chick with some little butterfly wings is trash.
The annoying daughter.
I forgot what I gave this movie. I'm probably giving like a 7. It wasn't bad. It's enjoyable still, but it could have been better. It could have been better.
They're apparently getting rid of the Wasp because her political views don't line up with Disney.
Who cares? If I say I love Trump, who cares? As long as I'm sitting there putting on the best performance I can. Stop worrying about somebody's political views. This is politics, bro. Like, who cares? That's why I don't vote. I don't vote because of this.
Yeah. Well, you're part of the problem.
I vote. Maybe this is the thing. When I vote, when I see it really affects like my money. So if I'm sitting there like, oh, I got this, and all of a sudden, okay, now I can't do this, I can't do that, then sure, I'll vote. Right now, my life sucks. I can't do nothing regardless. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah, these political views is just, I hate that. Now Guardians 3, I've been hearing nothing but great reviews. Like, it's because the second one, I liked the second one, but it was just
what is saying those reviews? Is it because I know the Flash is getting raving reviews from critics, but critics are paid to say positive things.
Well, don't forget, I know people that go see these screenings.
Premieres, yeah.
Yep. And everybody that I know that really liked it. The action was dope. Of course, the comedy and the emotional bits, everything with Rocket. I heard it was really good.
Yeah, because that's the thing. James Gunn is still a nerd. He's still a nerd, and he's still working on the like even his Suicide Squad was absolutely hilarious, absolutely amazingly well done. I mean, they fought a kaiju at the very end of Suicide Squad. Kaiju.
Which a lot of people was talking shit like, oh, the first Suicide Squad movie was better. They fought a starfish in the second one. I'm like, huh? So you saying that them fighting a starfish was whack compared to the first one where you had a chick kiss everybody in the city to turn him into a rock monster, and then her do this the entire time. That's what you liked. Get out my way.
I love the fact that it was a kaiju because how much more ridiculous could it get? And the
movie was ridiculous in general. It was just hilarious. So the fact that they're going against this giant monster, and also you felt bad for it. The fact that he just loved living out in a star, living out in space, looking at the stars and the planets and all that, and y'all took him down to Earth to sit there and torture him and all that. You know what? I don't. That's a villain that I kind of agree with.
You gave us Peacemaker. You had one of the greatest characters, the only good character everyone loved from the original, and you kill him off. Jack Courtney, Captain Boomerang.
No, I'm sitting there looking at one of my friends talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yep, he loved it.
All right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, a couple people that I've seen that said they loved it, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
But Peacemaker. Oh my God. Even what was his name? What was Idris Elba's character name? Better Will Smith.
Yeah.
better Will Smith. Deadshot was awesome. That was Deadshot, right?
No, it was I forgot.
No, Deadshot is Will Smith's character, right?
Yeah, Deadshot's killed Will Smith's character, but he was a better Deadshot.
It really is, bro. They really just got the same character.
Yeah,
just better. And then they got another version. And then they got another version of him, just a white version, which was Peacemaker. Oh God.
Yeah. So it's just like one of those things. Why? Because I know. James Gunn has basically been put in charge. Him and someone else have been put in charge of the DCeU, which they are gonna basically revitalize everything. Which is why the Flash movie is supposed to be so important. It's supposed to be the way they reset everything again. instead of just resetting it, which would be the smarter option, they're resetting everything so they can recast people as they wish and keep the people that they want to keep. But then again, who are they going to keep? There is no Cyborg. There is no, they shouldn't keep the Flash. There's no Batman. They've already kicked out Superman. They're replacing Wonder Woman. Who are they going to keep? So why reboot the franchise again? Why make this movie to where it's going to reset everything if you're already going to recast everyone? If you were going to
his name was Bloodsport.
Okay, Bloodsport. If you were going to recast like one or two people, I'd understand the reason for making this movie to reboot the franchise, to start it over with recasting a few people.
Yeah, we're still talking about Suicide Squad?
No, I'm talking about Flash.
Yeah.
Because, James Gunn is in charge of the DCeU now. He's one of the two heads.
Mm-hmm.
They put him in charge. So
I got a good feeling about DCeU now.
Yeah, but the problem I'm having is like they're using this movie as a chance to revitalize it and reboot the whole franchise while keeping the actors they want. They don't have any actors still remaining. They don't have anyone they've cast who's going to stay with the project. Ben Affleck's out. Henry Cavill's out. Gal Gadot is out. Who else is worth? Who's playing?
It depends on how the box office is coming, because they were even saying they were saying that Shazam still might be in it, depending on how the audience goes at it. But the box office is flopped. Nobody likes it, so he's out. Now we got Aquaman coming out still this year. How is that going to go? Because remember, Aquaman is the first DC movie that did $1 billion, and a lot of people liked it. So who knows? Aquaman might still be in. I hope he's still in. Because I thought
Aquaman.
Huh?
They'll keep Aquaman.
That's probably what it's going to be. We're going to see.
They're going to have Aquaman. Because they better not keep Ezra Miller around because, he's an unhealthy. You don't need someone mentally unstable on set, afraid that he's going to do something to cast members. You don't need someone like that. And the fact that he's white, he has easy access to weaponry. Let's just say that.
That's true. That's true.
And you don't want to walk in on set. You don't want to walk in on set. Let's face it. It's primarily the white folk that do that. It's not any other race.
Yeah, that's true. What was it? Which one was it? Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, Alec Baldwin.
That was crazy.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't see the point for this. If you were just gonna want to reboot the franchise, just recast. If the only one you wanted to keep was Aquaman, bring him back. Just bring him back and just don't do an origin story for him. Just bring him back.
Yeah.
Because remember, his movies alone didn't make sense with the universe they were building. Right?
Who's Flash's?
Aquaman's.
Aquaman, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't relate with what happened in the Justice League. His story didn't line up because he was in the middle of nowhere, yet apparently he had already become just so many random things.
True.
Yeah, but yeah. It's gone on for a while. Yeah, you're sick. You're sick.
Yeah, I want to lay down.
But again, I don't see the point of Flash. I don't see the reason for it. I have a feeling I'm going to watch it and just assume that it was done better with the Flashpoint Paradox, the animated movie.
Oh, so this is the one you're going to watch?
What?
So this is the superhero movie you're going to watch?
I don't know because I don't feel like as excited as I am to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. I don't want to have my memory of him playing Batman ruined. I have his videos on the old crusty DVD versions, like when DVD first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I have that. I still have the case and everything. I don't want to ruin my images of him playing an epic character. Now, after a while, and people are giving it good reviews, I'll probably go and see it. But till then, I'm not going to bother because, well, you said Black Adam was great, and I didn't care to see it. And now you said it was enjoyable. You liked it.
Yeah, it was enjoyable because it was just action. But really, what was the story? There's really no real story to it.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get someone who doesn't know the character they're playing, telling the story themselves.
And then also it's just like DC always sucks. So when you see a movie and it's just like you're just enjoying it, then you put it up really high. So I think I gave this an 8 at one point. Now that I think about it, yeah,
Oh.
I gave that movie an 8.
But
Wow.
before we end this, I gotta say though, out of most of DC movies that have come out with like other than like the Dark Knight and most of the Batman movies that are just absolutely amazing,
Yeah.
I gotta say, Green Lantern is by far my favorite out of most of them that have come out.
You know what's funny? Green Lantern's not even the worst one.
Exactly.
That's the worst part. I'd watch Green Lantern. I'd watch Green Lantern over Black Adam. I'd watch it over Batman versus Superman, over Suicide Squad.
And
Wow.
this is where Ryan Reynolds met his wife. It's a love story. It's a love story.
Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, what was the dude's name in number in Deadpool 2? The one that didn't have no powers, no superpowers?
Peter? Yeah, Peter.
He's coming back for Deadpool 3.
Yes. Honestly, I'm right. Him and Dopender need their spin-off show.
Yeah. I'd be down with that.
If he was driving, the Dopender was driving his cab, and then Peter was just around, what kind of crimes would they solve? Small little.
Now that's a Disney Plus show. Give me a Disney Plus show, yeah, and it got to be R-rated.
Yeah, that would be the best, honestly, just because. But yeah, that's hopes for the future, I guess. Because honestly, as soon as I saw Peter and Dopender, the fact that he wants to do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I love Peter in Deadpool too. He was great.
Yeah, but that's basically what we're going on, an hour and 11 minutes.
Yeah.
You got to get some rest. I got to go to sleep. I got crap to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. I hope it's great, but at the same time, it's leaving a bad taste in everyone's mouth. The freaking superhero movies. There's no point.
They gotta stop it or change up the formula. If the formula is not changed, then we're not going to care for it.
Like, they should just stop, wait 20 years, and then reboot it the way Harry Potter did, or is planning to. So, yeah. Let's take it out. Take it out here. Let's take.
Hopefully, I feel better next week.
Take the dog to the shed and put it out of its misery. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Doodles.
Peace.
Old Yeller. Great movie.
Wow.